Hello all. Today we are going to study the endgame, chess king pawn endgame. Now let's see this position. This pawn is on a5, and now this is position is actually a draw. Even white wanted to, white will try to make a win also, but this will be a draw. Let's see how it will happen. Like white will play his king, and black need to just go back and just place his king on a8 and b8. Even white will try anything like he will push the pawn. Black has to play only A and B, and as white pushes the pawn, at the end this game will be a draw. Now, if you see this position, this is a rook file pawn. So if the pawn is rook file or the even this H file or A file, if the pawn is on A or H, this game will be ended in a draw. So this is a very simple rule of the king pawn endgame. So if your pawn is on A, don't just resign this position. This game is a win. Sorry, it's a draw. Let's see, it's a very similar position. If the pawn is on B, let's see if this pawn is on B and it's a white to play. Then what to do? White need to play this king in front of the pawn. And this is a black is taking the opposition. Again, after this position, if black is managed to get a position to, place opposite to opponent king, again this king game will be a draw. I'll show you how. Now white will push the pawn. Now black has to go back only one step back and need to take the opposite opposition. So place the king to opposite the opponent king, hide behind the pawn, again step back and wait where this king is going. If he king go a5, the black king should go on a7, pawn push, king to b7, king to b5, and again take back and wait where this king is going, whether it will go a6 or c6. If this king will go to c6, go for the c8, and this game will be ended as a again draw. So this is a king pawn in game opposition, and again this is like this game is again draw. If you push the pawn also, let's say this same situation has occurred, and this is again draw. Now what if king will go to the c3? Now the black having options to go king to c5, pawn push, b5, pawn push, and again play the same position, take opposite, and this game again will be a draw. Wait where the king will go, just follow the king, hide behind the pawn, and this game will be ended again as a draw. If you see this final position, this is a stalemate. A stalemate is a position where there is no square for the king. So let's see this one position here. Now, just pause your video. Now, the only difference between the previous position and this position here, the white king is in front of pawn, and that is a big difference in the game. Now, in this position, if it is a white to play, uh, can you check the moves? Can you guess the moves? White to play and win the game. Now, you just pause the video and find out white to play, win the game. Now, here, the move is king to a6. Now, of course, king will go a8, follow the king. Now, pawn push, and now king cannot go on a8. So, this will be a7, and this will be a queen. And we know how to checkmate with a one queen. So, if you see this position, this is again with this b5 pawn, but the only difference as compared to the last position, the king is in front of pawn. So, when king is in front of pawn, the white will win this game just like this a6, pawn push, pawn push, and it's a simple win because now he is going to make the. Let's go to the next position. Now again, pause the video, take a 2 minute, and find out white to play win the game. All right. Now your move is like king to c2. If you're not done till, just pause the video, take a 2 minute, and think how should white play, and then only you can resume the video. King to b3 is a move. And now here, if you go king to c4, this is a blunder. because this game will be draw because black got a chance to get a position. Again, you can see this is a draw. See this position we have seen in previous puzzle. Now here after king to b3, white have to go, white has to go king to a4. Now after king to a4, king to c6, and now king to a5. Now, of course, this king doesn't have any square to come near to this pawn, so king has to go back on b7. And now we will go king b5. Now, because of now again king raised to in front of pawn, so this is a winning position. So king has to go back on a7. If king will go a7, we will go to opposite direction, which is c6. Now king has to go back, and now again we'll take the opposition now this time, king to a8, and now here is a trick. How to win this game? Now again pause the video for a 2 minute and check it out. White to play and win the game. Now let's see. Now if you play pawn b5, king a6, pawn push, and again same position, and this was win. And this position we have seen that we can make a queen. So we have reached to this position again, and now here we can just push the pawn and make a win. Let's go one more position here. Now this is one tricky one. Uh, Again pause the video. And how should white continue from this position? The most natural move from the white this is king to pawn push. Now, of course, the white plan is to go for king to g3, king to h4 and take this pawn. But black can play here h4, a very nice move. The problem is, if you play this pawn push, this is a game. This game will be a draw. In fact, you cannot play g4 also. This will be unpassed and then game will be a draw. Okay, now if you go king f3 in this position, black will push this pawn. And now if you take this pawn, do you remember the first puzzle that I told you that in the if pawn is on rook file, this game will be a draw because now even if you play anything, black will just play the king to g and h and this game will be a draw. So after king f2, pawn push, king f3, and if you pawn push and if you don't take it, again the problem is now the king having enough opportunity to play this. Now king to g4 is not possible because this pawn will be pushed and make a queen. And now if you push this pawn, the king will further pawn push. Now black will push this pawn. And if you see this position, again black on timely reach to the opposition and this will be a draw. We have seen in first, second puzzle. Now what to do in this puzzle after king f2, pawn push, the best move is to king g1. King d7, king h2, pawn push, king to e6. And now after taking this pawn, this king is in front of pawn. And if king will raise to in front of pawn, this is a win because now it's a black to play. Like let's see, black played king to f6. And you know how to do this. We have studied this in previous session. And now we will play this. Just you need to be careful. This should not be a draw. And now here you need to be careful. And this pawn push, and see this is a draw. So here, this position, you need to be careful here. Now let's see pawn push. And now here, this game will be win. So here you have to calculate the moves on what moves king will reach to the HA. And accordingly, you can play it. Thank you so much all.